Hello, my name's Kate Agarwal. I work for DePaul University in the College Access Office. My office provides programming for high school students regarding anything college prep related. We talk about college admissions, financial aid. We also talk about majors and careers and major choice. And today we are talking about animation. With me today, I have Jackie Brennan, who is a DePaul faculty member who teaches at the computing school. And she will tell us all about her field and her experience teaching animation. Hi, Jackie.
Hey, Kate, how's it going?
Good.
Good. Well, I'm excited. We've been having pandemic and all a good year at DePaul. So I'm going to give people a little overview. If you're interested in studying animation, if you're interested in pursuing career options, I just kind of like to give you an overview of what you can expect going to school for animation, what you can expect in the field, and really what the DePaul experience is going to be. So I'm going to pull up some slides to kind of walk you through the curriculum and just the overall experience at DePaul. I'm a huge I'm a huge proponent of our program, just because the experience that I think most students can expect, I wish it would have been around when I was a student. So animation is part of the College of Computing and Digital Media. I'm trying to get my my slideshow here. Can you see the slideshow or no?
Yep.
Okay, great. So let me make it bigger so you all can see it. So studying at DePaul, there's a curriculum that you go through. It's part of the College of Computing and Digital Media, and it also has something to do with the gaming industry, with cinema, with graphic design. It's part of the School of Design. So a little bit about me. I've been working in animation for a long time. I started off doing stop motion animation. Then I got into doing hand-drawn and then eventually computer animation. I've worked on TV shows and film and commercial. Here's a couple of things I've worked on. We did a new opening for Dora the Explorer a few years ago. Worked with a lot of advertising agencies. If you've seen cereal commercials, they've probably done it. Honey Nut Cheerios,
That's
Lucky
awesome.
Charms, Trix Rabbit, all that stuff, all that good sugary stuff. And then we've also done quite a few short films. We had one film that was nominated for an Academy Award, so that was pretty exciting. So that's been my journey getting to DePaul. I've been teaching there for close to 10 years now. Some of the courses that I teach are ones that you would expect if you were starting an animation program. You're gonna pass through these at some point. Animation for non-majors is, we get a variety of people. Let me go through a little bit at a time. So it's a first step for people who want to learn about animation. We do hand-drawn, we do stop motion, we do some digital animation, and sometimes we get people that are in finance and are looking for a fun thing to kind of try their hand at. But we also get people in related majors like game development, graphic design, cinema studies. Here's just a little piece. We'll see if it plays. Gets a little funky.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, so that's
so cute.
And that was a student who, that was her first semester at DePaul. It was one of her first animation classes. She eventually did become an animation major, but she wasn't sure at the time. So she took animation for non-majors just to get a feel for what it's like, what you can expect. So it's a great starter class for people who are interested in animation, but maybe not totally ready to commit. Or like I said, I get business majors, I get computer programmers. We really kind of, get your feet wet in the whole animation process. So that's a great way to get started. Actually, this quarter, I'm also teaching animation, the introduction class for majors, and then we get a little bit more in depth in the different types of software. But, whoops, sorry. I want to go to the next slide.
No, it's cute. I don't mind. It's so cute. I feel like I want to take that class.
It really is fun, and I have so many students, like I said, from all over that they really don't know what to expect, and they really end up just having a good time with it. So that's a great class. But in addition to learning how to do animation, we want to give people a perspective on the history of animation. You know, animation's been around for just a little over 100 years, which when you compare it to painting or theater is not very long. And through those years, I mean, it's been used for entertainment. A lot of the Eastern European countries used it for political allegory, for protest. It's really interesting in this class. We kind of look at the history of different countries, different cultures, socioeconomic factors, and kind of talk about how that influences how people see animation and how it's used. And this is a nice class too. It is required of people in the animation program, but it's another one that's taken by really anybody because it is an arts and literature credit. You know, when you sign up at DePaul, we want to make sure you're well-rounded. So even if you're, you know, studying science, you need to be versed in different topics. So this is an arts and literature credit as well. This is a fun one. We just have really great discussions kind of talking about having students respond to different pieces of animation, writing about animation. So this is a really fun one. We have a lot of great discussions in the class, and it's a really fun one to teach. And we start off with Felix the Cat, and we go on through Miyazaki and anime. We cover a lot of bases. So that's one that I really enjoy teaching. I kind of put these two together. So those are kind of more general curriculum, but if you're in animation or if you're in game development, we do want you to get versed in using 3D animation software, 3D technology. We use Autodesk Maya, which for everybody out there, if you can get a student license for free. You can just Google
Wow.
Autodesk Maya. And so the two classes I teach in that are modeling and design, and then also the beginning of animation. So we talk about building sets, building environments, creating characters. And then in the animation class, we take basic rigs, and we kind of learn how to give a character life, how to give them natural motion. Both of our programs have been ranked in the top, and there's a million different rankings of colleges. We're consistently in the top 10 for both animation and game development. They've ranked really high. We've had students, you know, win Student Academy Awards. We've had, in the game development, Octodad was a game that came out some years back and won all kinds of awards. It ended up getting picked up and getting produced. So both of the programs, I can't speak highly enough about them. I wish they were around when I was learning, just because we really have a great staff. We have people in the fields who are really, you know, able to talk about what's industry standard. So we're using equipment, you're using software that you would be using when you go out and get your first job. So by learning how to use the software, you're going to be ready to really hit the ground running. And I'll see again if this little animation works out. This is when we were working on walk and run cycles.
Oh, this is what I should be doing.
More
often. More often than it happens. Yes, this little tiny figure is in better shape than I am, but that's a different topic. Oh, look at him. See, that was more me.
I told my student when she did that, I'm like, that's actually my treadmill nightmare.
Yeah, this is why I don't own one, actually, because that would happen. Okay, that's awesome. So that was a student project as well?
Yeah, that was actually just completed a few weeks ago for the 3D animation class. Oops, sorry, I keep hitting play when I'm going to the next.
No, I love them. I love all of them.
But, you know, we try to get them to, you know, things are like walking and running, they seem natural, but they're really difficult to get them to do naturally. So getting all the fluidity and the body movements, it's tricky. It's tricky to do. So, whoops, I think I went ahead when I didn't mean to there. So yeah, so this is getting people up to speed on the software is definitely a big part of what we do. And then question that always comes up. So, okay, you learn to use these softwares, you take these classes, what can you do with it? And the thing that's great is that there's so many fields right now that you can go into. I mean, when I started out in animation, you could do like TV or movies and a little bit of video games, but the game animation at the time was really limited. But now I have friends who do animation for Jumbotrons, at Sox Park, for video games, education, as we all know, especially now that we're online, there's a lot of animated content for the educational field, web design, multimedia presentations, motion graphics like you see on the news or on the sports programs. One of my students is working for the Big Ten channel doing different logos and things like that. I did a lot of my work in addition to, films. I did a lot of work with advertising as well. So that's the nice thing, is that you're not even pigeonholed into a single field. And within that, there are so many different jobs within these different things. So let me, oh yes, before we go on to what my students are doing, this is another really awesome part of the experience at DePaul, is we have such great facilities. I talked a little bit about stop motion. We have a great stop motion stage. You can see the student sitting here. He's made these figures. He's posing them a frame at a time. We've got, virtual reality and as part of the game development program and interactive media. We have a motion capture, again, for if you want your actors to perform something and then have your animated character perform it. We have a motion capture stage. This is new just within the last few years, is DePaul has started their own esports team. So
yeah, we get a lot of questions from students actually about esports. I had to get educated about it because I didn't know anything about it. I'm not a gamer, so I had no idea what that was.
Oh yeah, they have uniforms and everything. They were before the pandemic heated up again. I know they were out competing this fall. So,
yeah, no, they won a bunch of things.
Yeah, they're and again, the facility is just wonderful. I mean, you've got your comfy gaming chairs, which is never a bad thing. But there's different teams, and they do a lot of fun stuff too. Because one of my classrooms is right by the esports lab, and when I walk by, there's always some sign up, we're gonna have pizza and do a Minecraft thing on Friday, or they always have all kinds of.
I'm glad my son is not here to hear that, because he's signing up.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a really great place too, I think, even to meet people within your community, to meet people within the field, because then everyone starts chatting, you're playing games and you're talking. And then you can kind of talk about, well, did you take this class, or how did you ever have this problem with this program? So it's been really good, not only as far as having an esports team, but to really do a lot of community building as well. So, and there's labs, computer labs with all of the Adobe software. We use mostly Adobe and Autodesk, and that's pretty much industry standard. And that's available on the Lincoln Park campus. It's available in multiple buildings downtown on our downtown campus. We have some really beautiful animation labs with, the Cintiq tablets. So really, no matter what kind of animation you're looking into, there are great resources to be able to make what you want to make.
Yeah, those labs are fancy. I have visited some.
Oh yeah, and they on the 5th floor, when they redid that, it's got the fancy lights, like the doors open up and you feel like you're in Oz or something.
Super fancy.
So in addition to having really great facilities, the other thing that's nice about our program is there's so many internships and different opportunities. There's an LA quarter where you actually spend a quarter. Our quarters are 10 weeks long plus a week for finals, so they spend that in Los Angeles. They work for different studios out there. There's internships, and then you're also taking classes while you're out there. So you're getting a foot in the door in a lot of different places. You're making connections.
That's amazing. Yeah, you meet people, network. That's incredible.
Yeah, you're really there where it happens. And again, the students are there working in the studios where these things are getting made. So that's really, really popular. As far as cultural opportunities, there's an animation and gaming trip to Japan where they go during the winter break. They go to Japan for 2 weeks and do a tour of game and animation studios. And they even have, I think with one of the universities there, they have kind of an animation day where the students get together for a day and create animation. Really amazing. You go to some of the top studios there and get to look inside. Also, the Ottawa International Animation Festival is one of the most respected animation festivals out there.
Oh, wow.
And the students travel to Canada. And when you go to the festivals, again, there's people recruiting from studios. There's people
excellent
that you can
networking.
give your real tool. It's a great, great networking opportunity. You also get to see what's getting done out there. So a lot of things just from being in the program that you can do, as a student there. And also we have traditional internships there as well. There's a handshake is what they call the job networking at the College of Computing and Digital Media. So, I mean, there's constantly people looking for someone to come and help out at gaming studios, at production studios. So there's opportunities and internships through that. And another really wonderful thing has been our screenings and guest speakers. A lot of time when there's a movie coming out, we'll get a sneak preview. And we do get artists who are coming from Pixar, they're coming from Cartoon Network, they're coming from Disney. Sometimes they're alumni, sometimes they're coming through. We've had really famous filmmakers. Werner Herzog, who's one of my favorite directors, has come through to speak to the cinema students. Yuri Norstein is one of the most famous, if not the most famous living Russian animator, has been to DePaul twice now, and
That's
even had a
incredible.
stop motion workshop. Yeah. So, I mean, it's really, really great. And, to get to be there and see the work and ask questions, it's a really incredible experience. And then that brings us to where do you go then after that? You have all these great facilities and these classes and all these experiences. So these are just students that I've personally had within the last 5 years. So Jennifer Stakovich, who did a wonderful, I loved her project. I had her in a production class. She did a really fun little short film. She's a character artist on BoJack Horseman. Nora Early, another very talented student. She's a storyboard artist now for Warner Brothers. She's working with the Warner Animation Group.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then
My
Carter
kids love
was
the
another
Lego
one.
movies.
Yeah, and Carter was one of our students who won the Student Academy Award for his film a few years ago. Lily was, I think, in the same class as Jennifer. Yep, she was. She's been directing her films and winning quite a few awards. And again, I have students, these are just some of the names off the top of the head, but like I said, I have other students working for Big Ten Network. I had another student doing extra storyboard work at Blue Sky. So it's nice that we're really geared towards getting you working on a professional level, but thinking beyond that, getting you out there and really giving you the opportunity to do some of these things. So and I think that's my show. So let me.
So tell us a little bit about how the pandemic has impacted your work and your classes at DePaul, because we've been remote since March. All of our programming and classes are online. How is the animation program doing?
Animation has been one of the most pandemic-proof industries. And that was another friend of mine. This was another guest speaker we had, Mike Owens, who created the Amazon Prime series Danger and Eggs. We were talking to him, and he said he's busier than ever. It's been one of the most pandemic-proof industries because we can work at home, we can work remotely, you can have the software on your computer. So there's actually almost been more because people are home watching more. So people get through the series and then they want to see.
I'm sure everyone who's listening to this can relate. Watching more TV right now, that's something people are doing. That's great to hear then. So that's one of the best majors for a lot of things. It's super fun. It probably pays well. You can do it from home. There really isn't any drawbacks. Sounds like.
And Mike Owens, who I just mentioned, he mentioned as well, with everything being so mobile now, you don't even have to be in Los Angeles. It used to have to be that if you wanted to be in TV or film, you had to be out there. But now with people working remotely, the possibilities have really opened up quite a bit. It's really been a game changer.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I just wanted to mention that the way I know Jackie is because she taught for us for a summer program that I manage. We have a summer program called College Connect, and every year we recruit high school students to participate in the summer with us. And we offer various classes, but animation was one of the classes we offered last year. And Jackie's class was really, really fun and very well received by the students. And they made the most adorable animation videos. That little gray blob is still my favorite, Jackie. It just tugged at my heart. It's a little video of a gray piece of clay.
Yeah, it's a kneaded eraser. It's just a little kneaded eraser.
It was amazing. So you can do incredible things. And so if you guys are interested in joining us at DePaul, we will have College Connect again this summer, probably remote still because of the pandemic. But Jackie will be probably teaching for us again, and so you can take animation with us this summer.
Yeah, we had a great time, and I have to say we really went out of our way to build a community, doing games together online, animating together online, sharing our work online. And I mean, these are students who most of them had never done any animation at all, but
Right.
we were still, even with working remotely,
It was,
it was amazing how much, like you saw the final products, how much we really got done in what was it, 5 short weeks. So
yeah.
you
guys worked really hard.
Yeah, well, and again, that's the nice thing about animation. It's pandemic proof. So.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for spending the time with us and telling us a little bit about the field that you work in. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.